Welcome back, everyone. This is my weekly obligatory post as to my weekly performance. I don't have much to say, so there won't be much to say. I ended the week up 0.92%, and I bought some Chronos. For those who have paid attention, I owned some earlier in the year. I sold it for a profit, and now I'm back in it, similar to me being back into Green Thumb. Not a large position, but a position nonetheless. And I added more to my Valaris position, and I added more to my uranium position, which is good timing. Luck is what it is. In regards to the uranium position, with Microsoft talking about spending, $18 billion to build out the 3 Mile Island nuclear facility, and I guess Amazon talking about some nuclear stuff. So see what happens in regards to those things. Pretty much Kronos, Valaris, URNM, the Sprout uranium mining ETF. They're all either flat or down on the year. The uranium and Valaris are down. Valaris is down 15% or so. I don't really know. And Kronos is the only one that's up, and it's up a couple of percent from year to date. So see what happens with that. Who knows? Fed cut 50 basis points, and S&P's at all-time highs. Where do we go from here? Don't know. Where do we go in the short term, interim, long term? Well, long enough term, presumably up, at least behaviorally. That's what I think. That's why I own stocks. So then the question becomes a short term and interim, and I don't know. I do not know. I would defer to subscribing to Macro Ops Dirty Dozen Charts newsletter, and maybe they'll aid you. That was not being a smartass, by the way. That was sincere. I actually open it every Monday. I'm always excited to read it. Maybe too excited. Anyway, I definitely open it when I get it. Probably have a 100% open rate on that, and I can't say that too much about too many things. And they're better at kind of telling you where they think things are going in the short to midterm, and they seem fairly accurate at it, and informed and educated. And I've been following them for years at Macro Ops. So if you want to know those things, they'll show you, they'll tell you a nice story. I'm not saying that sarcastically. It's they package it well. They're informed, they're educated, they put it together succinctly, they give you pictures, and it's just nice. I mean, I enjoy it. So, yeah, I'll defer to them. But with that said, I don't really have much to talk about. It's fascinating, like Kodiak Gas Services, ticker symbol KGS, is up. I'm up 66% on it, and it's so fascinating to see volatility and things. Like, it was down. It's trading at, I think it hit $29 a share. It might be at the high 28s, but it wasn't that long ago. It had a big pullback. It reported earnings, and then it went from like 28 to, I don't know, 25 or 24 or something, and which is a decent percentage move. I've said it before and I'll say it again. 20% move up or down is just margin of error as far as my mindset's concerned. That doesn't mean that being down 20% makes me happy, but it means that me being up 20% could easily just be me being flat in a day or two. So I don't get excited about 20% moves up. Ever so slightly, perhaps, but not really. But if it pulled back 15, 20%, something like that, and now it's back to all-time highs, and you're like, why? You see that a lot. Green Thumb, they refinanced some debt and paid some debt down, and then earlier in the week they offered or put out a $50 million buyback, and they are I don't know what they are. I'm trying to figure out the market cap, what percentage. I know it's 2 something, but it is here we go, $2.4 billion market cap. So $50 million is, we'll just call that 2%, just to keep the numbers simple. So they're going to buy back 2% of the stock, less, but like I said, we'll just go with 2% of the stock. And then the stock went up like 4% the next day, presumably on the news, and then bled off. And now I think it's actually lower than it was. And then you can say, well, how is that rational? You know, that seems like the wrong question to ask. As far as I'm concerned, it is what it is, because you could say, well, it should be 2% higher since they're buying back 2% of the shares, and instead it's, I don't know what it is, 2% lower, let's just pretend. And then you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense, these markets are stupid and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, like I don't know what to tell you. It's the name of the game. You can criticize it or you can play it, and I don't know. That used to resonate with me a lot more than it does now. It's like, yeah, that is what it is, and I don't know what to tell you. So, with that said, interestingly enough, Decibel, there's some kind of halt that occurred, and then, of course, there's no press release on their website. That's always interesting when they can't be bothered to say something of theirs got halted, unless I'm misreading the situation, but that's always good. Oh, what's the word? Communication. So, whatever. I will say I sold it, but I owned Louisiana Pacific, ticker symbol LPX. I think it's at all-time highs, $100+. I think I bought it in the 50s or 60s, and it didn't go anywhere for a year, and then it finally broke out. Finally, one of the laggards at like the $94 range, and then it kind of teased around that area for a while, and now it's past 100. And I just remember this video I watched. It's whenever Buffett bought it. So it was no more than 2 years ago. And this guy, because I try to watch people that I don't agree with, just for a lot of reasons sometimes. And this guy was, doing one of these videos about what did Buffett buy, and it was like Louisiana. And then he gives his, does he think it's a buy, sell, or hold type thing, and how he would list them as to the best opportunities and not. And I remember him saying that he didn't find the investment exciting. I remember he said that, exciting. It was like, why would you be excited by investing in a company? Like, oh, because it's wood. You're like, oh, look at that OSB wood. I'm so excited. No, but guess what? People are making livings working there. CEOs making millions. C-suites are making millions from it. And then you don't have to be excited to make money. You make money by buying something for less than it's worth, I guess, and then selling it. That's presumably how one makes money in a very oversimplified and generalized sense. He's like, it's not exciting. So let's just say 2 years ago this happened, even though I think it was less. It was like, I'm pretty confident, not that I've looked at his most recent numbers, because I only, touch base from time to time with his channel. And that's 50% returns in 2 years. So has his portfolio done that well? Probably not. And it was just, I don't know. I remember he recommended buying Neo, the EV Chinese car company, and that's done poorly. Now, of course, he allocated a tiny percent of his portfolio, like 0.5% or 1%. So that was smart of him, and smart whether it went up or went down. He recognized the risk. I'm not trying to overly talk shit on him. He recognized the risk that it was, and he position sized accordingly. But I just really was bothered by him saying that LPX, Louisiana Pacific, wasn't exciting. So, along with that, my monotone voice isn't too exciting either, I imagine. So, whoever's listening, thank you for watching, Until next time.